taking the time today. A lot of updates I'm going to walk you through in a moment. I'll just give you an overview of what we plan to discuss today. But as I'd committed to you on the previous call and the time before that, I will be hosting these calls and giving updates as regularly, consistently, and methodically as possible, giving you transparent feedback, real-time updates when we can. We want to make sure that we keep everyone updated as frequently as possible. Obviously, I know we have a bunch of people reaching out, whether it's to myself, Ahmed, Brian, and the crew. Ahmed actually was just messaging me earlier. He sends his greetings to everyone, and obviously Ahmed is completely, as has always been, leading the charge on the marketing front. I'll walk through in a little bit, what Brian is leading the charge on with regards to the audit. But basically today, what I'm going to walk folks through is the roadmap in terms of how it looks for the remainder of August, for September, and for October, including precisely when we will resume with partner withdrawals, as well as an upcoming event in Bali, which is pretty exciting. So mix of news today, but the commitment from my side that as frequently as possible, we'll have these calls, make sure that people have the correct information, the appropriate information as we navigate through this. And as I said before, and you'll see with some of the things that we're working on, the goal here is to come back stronger, come back better, come back more efficient, more structured, more institutionalized, and to truly be a best-in-class operator and leader on this frontier edge technology system that we operate in. Before I kick off, we have a full room today, as we always do, and genuinely I go out to this company doesn't exist without this community, without this network, with what has been built. And so I say from myself and behalf of the entire team here that that is incredibly important to us. It's incredibly critical to us, and our goal here again is to deliver timely results in a institutionalized manner and come back stronger than we've ever been before. So with that said, I'm going to walk you through a presentation now. As I mentioned, we'll have an update on the audit, as well as how things will play out through the remainder of August into September, and as well as October. So with that said, I'm just going to share my screen quickly here. All right, so that should be good. All right, with that said, let's jump straight into it. We've got a full house here. I'll be as thorough and efficient here as possible, with specifically noting where to pay special attention on some of the updates. So starting, as I said before, Brian Benz is obviously leading the charge here on the audit and the recovery process side. He and his team are executing and conducting an extremely methodical and comprehensive audit as part of this. Again, this is a critical component in making sure that we can complete the recovery in a timely fashion, as well as come back better and stronger than we were before. Obviously, during this process, some of the company accounts have been temporarily frozen. Again, I say temporarily frozen, so not permanently, but temporarily. The team is actively working day and night, Brian and his team, to fully understand, review, and again comprehensively analyze the situation and produce the final results and a complete audit. Again, the completion of this audit will assist in determining the next steps here in the recovery process, which I'll go through in more slides to cover. But again, in a nutshell, that process is undergoing. Brian is leading the charge. We want to be as comprehensive, as methodical, as institutionalized as possible to execute that flawlessly and get things up and running here as smoothly and timely as possible. We realize, time is of the essence for us, our partners, for the community. And so again, from my seat here, just to let you know that on that front, Brian and his team are working extensively day and night to move as quickly as humanly possible on that front. Moving on. Okay. So I've mentioned before, I want to walk you through how things are going to look for August, how they're going to look for September and October and beyond. So again, if I just sum up what August looks like, it's recovery and restorations, and we will also be having our NeyroLabs.io release, and I'll go through what products will be encompassed on that. But again, we want to sum up August in 2 words. I want to say recovery and restoration. So here's some dates to pay attention to. And again, when we spend a lot of time, guys, obviously coming into these updates, making sure that the dates we put here are ones that we can stand behind and ones that we can execute on. So when I say here now, between August 10, we've already started, obviously. So now between August 10 and the 15th, so it's probably by the end of the weekend, we'll have NeyroLabs beta and the initial back office up and running. As I'd mentioned on a previous call here, our goal here is to really have a best-in-class back office and support infrastructure with the renewed version of NeyroLabs. And again, just so you know, that'll be NeyroLabs.io, a complete refresh, as I'd mentioned before. But again, if I want to stress something on this, that we're doing everything conceivably possible to make sure that the back office support infrastructure here is truly best in class and marries with the trading environment that we're able to provide. So it's something I'm excited about. I believe it will be. I sincerely believe it will be successful over the long term, and we're making sure we do things right, and have something that folks will be really not just proud of, but can see profitable results from, and something that has longevity. Right. This is not about today or tomorrow. We want something here that will take us well into the future and beyond. So obviously our NeyroLabs dashboard will we will continue to evolve that, right? It's definitely not going to be a stagnant. It's not going to be a one and done. The goal there is to keep delivering new products, new features, new updates as we evolve, and this will become this is already a primary focus of ours. So we'll be adding updates to that following the beta after August, or for the rest of August, as well as then September and into October, and then beyond. But again, as I'd said on one of the first of these update calls, we have our support from our institutional partners and investors, from our venture partners, and we are deploying a significant amount of resources into making sure that what we deliver here is truly ready for the world stage. So let's talk about the quantum alpha restoration. So, obviously, as mentioned on the first slide here, and again, a lot of this revolves around our audit process and completing that in a timely and methodical manner. We expect we expect our quantum alpha payouts, right, will resume, as the recovery process continues. Again, and I've said this before, but I want to stress it again because it's critically important. During this transition period, Quantum Alpha will continue to earn the trading returns. You can continue submitting the withdrawal requests. Our temporary projected monthly returns, as we've said before, approximately 2 to 3%, and until things are recovered and resumed and back up live, up and running. And obviously, we have the restoration of the partner compensation structure associated with Quantum Alpha. So again, we expect our Quantum Alpha payouts to resume as soon as the recovery process not just continues but completes here, alongside with the audit, and we'll continue to provide, as soon as we can, very specific times around that. Again, Brian and his team are actively really putting a lot of time and resources into moving that along as quickly as humanly possible on that front. But that's the summary on the Quantum Alpha restoration. the returns, the withdrawal requests, and the partner compensation structure. So let's talk. The last time we spoke, we really we jumped into talking about, right. Obviously, we have various products that are out there. We need to look at them not just in isolation but holistically. But I want to just touch now on obviously our centralized product recovery. So again, we really had to roll up our sleeves here and go through every single one um, of the engines, where any exposure was, where any weaknesses were, and it's a full audit on the system as a whole, as well as each of the centralized product. So, and as I'd also previously mentioned, these audits are, they're both technical and security in nature. Our goal here is to be, fully transparent. We want to get up and running better and stronger than we were before, and we're now doing everything in our power to make sure that we're taking the right steps at the right time and moving as quick as we can in a safe and controlled environment, on this front. So once we've completed our technical and security audits, we will then move forward with the restoration of both the XAI bot, the XAI Pro, the Zeus bot, and as well as our RWA. So again, if it wasn't clear, there's a sequencing here, right? Once Brian and his team have completed the audit and we can begin with our recovery, we then move on to our centralized product recovery, and it's those products listed there. And obviously the products here will return progressively, again, as these required audits are complete, verified. We can produce the results, and we can feel that we're operating in a very transparent and structured, safe and secure environment. Again, the goal here: restore, recover, build, go stronger into the future, right? Each step, unfortunately, does take time, right? And we are working as quickly as we can to do this as efficiently as possible. Again, appreciate everyone's patience. We've all had a lot of people reaching out. This is the messaging here that I'll delivering previously, that I'm delivering today, and that I'll continue to deliver on a consistent basis. And the moment we have specific dates, specific times, we will deliver those to the community immediately. Community has always and will always be the center of this company. We appreciate that. We're aware of that, and our goal here is to honor that as we do this in a structured way. So that covers August. What does September hold? So as I've said, I keep saying as I've said previously, but I'm stressing these messages because these are important things. A lot of investment, a lot of capital is going into the renewed NeyroLabs, and so September will bring along with that a dashboard expansion. So what will that look like? And this is something I'm incredibly excited about. I think you will too. I'm also excited that it will be done in an institutional manner with the required back office support. So throughout September, you will continue to see dashboard upgrades with new functionality and products added. Again, here we want to be best in class. We want to be delivering the right tools, the right interface, the right experience, both from the front and the back office perspective, to our NeyroLabs.io infrastructure. So once we built on the once we have the beta release out, we will then obviously expand the dashboard, and we really want to make these tools as robust and as cutting edge as possible. So whether it's new products, whether it's upgraded tools, whether it's additional ecosystem services, back office support, VIP support, whatever that looks like, and I'll go into what some of those look like in a moment. But that's what you'll start to see pretty consistent development on and releases throughout September 2026. Again, our functionality will be introduced progressively once we feel things are safe, they're tested, they're trusted, and we feel very good about them. And I think this is something that will truly make us build back here better and stronger than we were before, and something that which is near and dear to the whole team, is the longevity here. We want something that will last us well into the future and remain a industry leader for many years to come. So, as part of this this upgrade and this renewed NeyroLabs, what does the trading infrastructure look like? What will we be able to offer? So we obviously will, as I mentioned, we will be expanding that beyond just a single product. We want to have truly a comprehensive and robust trading environment that will have multiple solutions, multiple algos, multiple bots. Really something that I would like to see here be a one-stop shop for both novice and professional traders alike. So again, from what you will see here is additional trading parts, integration of different trading algos, ability to introduce third-party trading solutions, which is incredibly exciting. And then we want to create opportunities here for other companies and parties to utilize our platform to launch their own trading products on. This is something that there's been a lot of interest on from the more institutionalized folks who want to leverage our infrastructure and introduce third-party trading products onto the platform. So again, the goal here is to create a best-in-class institutional-like decentralized trading platform at NeyroLabs.io, and we are spending a significant amount of resources in bringing that live. And so September will be an incredibly exciting month for that. So stay tuned. There will obviously be a lot more updates between now and then. I can assure you that. What will some of these ecosystem opportunities look like? We're going to have things. There'll be financing. There'll be new partner bonus models. There'll be strategic partnership opportunities. And obviously, this is all encompassed in the expansion of our NeyroLabs ecosystem. And again, the goal here, we've got incredibly bright people working on things behind the scenes. We know what will move the market. We know what people are looking for, and we know the infra that we've already got. And so the question here is, how much can we scale this? How efficiently and safely can we scale this? And safety is a number one priority here. That'll be said now, to be said multiple times. But again, all of this, along with not just this ecosystem opportunities, but having truly a institutional level back office and support infrastructure to line up with this next gen trading infrastructure. Later on, I'll walk through some of what these financing opportunities will look like. But again, I think September, as you see some of these updates go live, you'll be incredibly excited about what we are delivering, and we'll feel great because we know that it is something that we can trust. We want things to be completely transparent. We want things to be safe and secure for everyone in the ecosystem. Again, the goal here is not just to restore and recover, but to rebuild stronger, right? Rebuild better, and rebuild with longevity in mind, positioning us well into the future. So, what have we covered so far? Just a quick recap. Brian and co are continuing to push forward on the audit front. We've gone through what the roadmap will look like for August. I've gone through what we're planning to go live with in September, and we'll have updates on that. And so then that brings us into October, and October will result in even further ecosystem expansion. Again, here the goal is not to be static. The goal is to not have a one-hit wonder of a product, but to truly have a diversified, comprehensive, institutionalized trading platform where different products can plug and play, different institutional partners can come on board, and we can, hopefully, and this is the goal here, to truly be right up there at the top as a best-in-class trading infrastructure. So in October, you'll see even a further upgrade to our NeyroLabs dashboard. Again, we will continue to add products as frequently as makes sense, provided that they are going to be useful, impactful, and again, with the idea that they are accretive in nature to the ecosystem. We're not going to put something on just for the sake of it, having it on. We want something that be accretive, either has greater functionality, more tools, greater exposure, deeper connectivity to various algorithms. So whatever that would look like, the goal here is to really provide improved products, additional products, complementary products, and products that are accretive to Nero as a whole. Bearing in mind, we want things to be convenient, we want them to be user friendly, and we want obviously to drive engagement forward well into the future here. And so again, a lot of time, a lot of capital is being deployed to bring these developments live in September and October. So definitely will be a lot of updates to come here in the coming weeks. One of those products that we'll see, and this is something that there's other companies out there providing it. I think when we think of the use case for stable coins, and we think about how crypto is more deeply ingrained in our financial ecosystems as a whole, having collateralized assets, having leasing platforms, having these sort of tools available to our partners, to our community, to our users, to our institutional partners is critical. And so our leasing platform is planned as an additional expansion within the ecosystem, and we hope we will have a full suite of products and services around that. Again, this is by no means revolutionary in the crypto space, but it's something that, in our perspective, is a fantastic asset and functionality feature to have if you truly are going to have a best-in-class, fully diversified and functioning ecosystems. And so the leasing platform is one that we're incredibly excited about. And again, even outside of this, as these tools and functionality become available, we will be having real-time calls, real-time updates. But again, leasing platform is one that's near and dear, and I think one that will put us on the map and will create a significant amount of opportunity for our partners, for our community, for the ecosystem as a whole. Another one that I'm incredibly excited about here, but is and it was something that has always been there, and I think it is so much room for growth here and room for expansion, and that's with regards to the NeoBank. So NeoBank, we plan on expanding our financial infra. Again, we want to have new products here, but this is truly our products here are not something that we are going to be creating in a vacuum. These are products that are going to be built out of the needs from users and partner networks, right? We know the requests, we know what people want, we know what they need, we know what potential competitors are doing, and we know what it will take to push the NeoBank forward into a market leading position. So again, we're going to have a pretty heavy suite here of financial products, an introduction of a completely newly developed card. One thing important to know here, the card here will have a limit of up to $50,000 per month, which is substantial, and in my opinion, far beyond anything else, at least that I've seen out there from a competitor perspective. And obviously, all this is in while still maintaining the preservation of our existing partner network within the NeoBank. So again, just taking a step back here, if you look at between the NeoBank expansion with the products and services we'll bring on board there, as well as leasing, I think you can see what I've been the message I've been trying to deliver along the way here, and that is to build back stronger, better features, expand in all the areas that we know we can drive growth, we know we can drive change, and we know we can deliver products and services that are needs based, and ones that we know our community will truly relish the opportunity to have. So again, outside of when I started, I said, when we talk about August, we talk about restoration and recovery. When we talk about September and October, we're talking about development, we're talking about products, and we're talking about growth. And these are just some of the highlights to flag there. Again, there will be very regular updates, especially as we go live with certain things. So Next on the agenda, which is incredibly exciting. Although I'll try and do this with the same the same energy that Shane delivers, but he's one of a kind. But incredibly excited to announce here that our Bali event for 2026 will be October 16 to October 18. And the goal here is obviously we should be by that time in our position that is restored, recovered, and rebuilding stronger. And so the dovetailing effect is really something we're aiming to get then get folks really excited, rejuvenated, and you obviously be seeing a lot of updates, a lot of developments, a lot of new products, new features by that point. And so this will be an exclusive Aurum event. As always, it will bring up to around 250 partners and leaders, again, from around the world. And truly just creating an unforgettable experience and rewarding the folks that have worked so hard. Again, I've said this before, I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it as many times as necessary. This company does not exist without the network. It does not exist without the community, right? And that is why our priorities are restoration, recovery, safety, security, new products, new features, continue to deliver to you and make our community stronger, more profitable, so we can build something well into the future here. So again, that'll be Bali, October 16 to 18, 2026. So it's about 2 months away. A little bit more on the Bali event. Just with some nice palm trees on the back of this one. But I think what the goal here as well will really to bring to the conclusion, like I just said on previously, right? It'll be the inflection point of this restoration recovery in August, rebuilding, redeveloping of September, development progression in October. So the dovetailing and the marriage of those things, we want to celebrate that with the leaders and with the community in Bali. And really, this will be the final stage of our recovery and the step forward into our ecosystem development and growth. So whether it's the launch of Orbit One, our NeyroLabs dashboard with expanded products, what we hope will be in place on the NeoBank side, all the additional tools and features. Again, here as I talk to you guys here, and I love doing these things live where I can see everyone and feel the energy, but it is here. And again, we did not come up with this date lightly. This is not just October seems like a good month. This really is the focal point where we want to have the past truly behind us and the future truly in front of us, all together better and stronger than we have ever been before. So again, October 16 to 18 in Bali. It will be the truly the, I don't want to say the Independence Day or the next stage, but it will mark the end of an era and the start of a brand new, incredibly exciting chapter in our history. So to just then go through some of the details for those of you who aren't familiar or who are new, but you will have the achiever level, which we have obviously a leader level and our VIP level. Each one of these is qualification for two, with achiever being $50,000 USDT in direct sales, 75,000 for the leader level, and 125,000 for the direct sales level. For each one of those, obviously, you will receive an invitation for two to the event, which is 3 nights at it's truly a premium resort, and I'm sure everyone that goes will be able to have a pretty phenomenal. It's going to be a phenomenal experience, a phenomenal time for everyone's there. There'll be full flight compensation and so on. So October 16 to 18. Next chapter in our history, one that I'm excited about. I'm excited to again put the past behind us and do it in a methodical, structured way. August, recovery, restoration. September, development, growth. October, adding on new features, continuing to build well into the future, celebrating the company, celebrating the community, celebrating the partners all together in Bali, right? August, September, October. Now, following the completion of the audit, and hopefully by our next call or very soon, we'll be able to hear from Brian and the team on and maybe get some more specifics around those dates and get a comprehensive update on where that stands. Again, as I said at the start of the call, Brian and his team are working tirelessly on that front to make sure that things are executed flawlessly and then we can rebuild stronger. And hopefully soon we will be able to provide really specific timing around the completion of that. But following the completion of the audit, right, we will then commence with the partner compensation withdrawals. Again, I know there might have been some mixed messaging on exactly when that was going to be. I can now safely say it will be exactly when that is completed. And hopefully soon we'll be able to provide you some more specifics, at least within a very tight time range on when that will be. But once that is completed, withdrawals will resume with these temporary daily limits that we're familiar with, going from Aurum Nexus all the way to Pantheon, $50 to $500. And those will be daily limits. They will be temporary, and then they will obviously ramp up pretty quickly thereafter until things are covered, restored, operating smoothly, and rebuilding stronger than we were before. So again, partner compensation withdrawals will commence immediately once the audit is completed, and hopefully soon we'll be able to give you some specifics around exactly when that will be, so folks can manage effectively around that. I'll just quickly speak about the Orbit One training bot that we had spoke through last time. Something I'm incredibly excited about. I think the results are going to speak for themselves. Again, this will come alongside some really institutional level back office infra and support. But this will be, again, one of the first major milestones and kickoff of our Neyro ecosystem, targeting returns there, as I've said before, between 15-20%, and it'll be powered by our Orbit One trading engine. Again, I think the other critical thing here is it's going to be through a single decentralized liquidity pool, be fully transparent, which I know is critical. We want something that is completely transparent with our on-chain trading activity, so that folks can feel safe, can feel secure, can see everything that's happening. Those are the parameters under which it will operate. Obviously, be a share pool participation as well as existing partner compensation structure. So again, we've touched on this before, only because it's something that truly will really blow your mind. I, for one, am incredibly excited around the transparency on that nature, and the fact that it will be a flagship product for the Neyro ecosystem. So excited around Orbit One. And again, then in closing here, so I'll just go through what I'd said before. We think about August, we think about restoration and recovery. We think about September and October. It's new releases, it's upgrades, it's development, it's moving things forward. With regards to Orbit One, incredibly excited about it. I think the fully transparent nature of that trade bot is something that will be exciting and necessary for everyone. But and then obviously, coming together as a community in person in October in Bali is really that focal, that pinnacle, that timeline event. So at least everyone on this call knows exactly the timeline that we're working towards, and we can look back one day at this chapter. It's something that brought us even closer as a community, made us more resilient as a company, and when we are successful in the future, it will be something that we will look and said, not that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and this will most certainly not kill us. We are going to come back stronger than ever before. Newer products, better products, safer environment, more transparency, better institutional back office support, and goal here is to truly make a best-in-class decentralized infrastructure, put Nero and Aurum on the map as an industry leader, silence the naysayers, and continue to deliver stellar returns for our partners and for our community. So everyone on this call and at large, truly your trust, your patience, your support. Um, it all means a lot, and the only way we can say thank you is by delivering the results within those timeframes that I'd lined up. That is our way of supporting you, the way you support us, right? I'll do everything in my effort, as I've always said, to provide consistent, methodical, real-time feedbacks on calls like this. Obviously, a lot of people reaching out, and I only want to give information that is transparent, that is accurate, and timelines that I know that we can hit. And again, I think mark your calendars for October 16 to 18 as the next chapter here in our future, which looks bright, which looks strong. And once we get through there, I truly believe there's nothing that can stop us as a company. There's nothing that can stop us as a team. There's nothing that can stop us as a community. Appreciate everyone's time today. Hopefully this addressed a lot of the questions, and we look forward to getting you updates regarding the audits, as well as stay tuned for updates on the new features and the upgrades and the releases that we're going to be making to NeyroLabs.io. So good morning, good evening, good night. Thank you everybody for your time today. Cheers.